And if you look at the reaction, both his feet come back to the turf, and then he jumps in the air and spins.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Phil Levanko. Welcome to another edition of Under Review. We take the most controversial refereeing decisions in the Major Arena Soccer League. And this week, Ryan Sigich is on a plane off to jolly old England. So we're joined once again by senior official Rich Grady. So Rich, Ryan left us a bunch of plays before he headed off to London. And I see plays from your game, but none from his. So what gives?
Well, Phil, I think Ryan had used up all his airtime on previous editions of the show, so he wants to spread the wealth a little bit.
We start in St. Louis, and Milwaukee fans feel a sense of deja vu. Ian Bennett is streaking towards the net, and he thinks he's fouled. No call is given in real time, and no review is initiated. Rich, what is your opinion of this play?
So, Phil, to me on this one, there is a foul committed by the defender. The defender is aware that Bennett has gotten goal side. He reaches out in an attempt to grab him. The ball is coming back off the wall, and Bennett at least has a reasonable opportunity to get to it. So for me, this is a foul.
And we didn't go to review because?
So this is a situation where both teams had used their challenge. It's now a matter of referee discretion. It's in the last 5 minutes. This could have been reviewed if the referees thought it rose to the level of a missed blue card. A foul that should have been a blue card. Obviously, they didn't feel that way, so it wasn't reviewed.
And Rich, now it's your time to shine. Third quarter action in Harrisburg, game between the Heat and the Baltimore Blast. A blue card is issued to D'Oliveira for a high boot. The play goes to review, and the blue card is rescinded. Rich, what led to the decision to overturn the blue?
Well, Phil, this is one play where we thought we saw something in real time, and what we thought we saw was not what happened. It's a good lesson to take your time and make sure you have the right angle, because the angle that I had, I was convinced that there was significant contact between the players, which is why I pulled the card. And Harrisburg immediately challenged. We went to review and we looked at it, and we could not find any contact. And if you look at the reaction of the Baltimore player, both his feet come back to the turf, and then he jumps in the air and spins. So it was not the force of any challenge that caused that, because both feet came back to the ground and then he reacted. If there had been significant contact, it would have been while both feet were up in the air, each player had a leg extended. That would have spun him around. That's not a natural reaction to come back to the ground and then have the spin.
We're in overtime now, same game, and the Heat won a blue card for this tackle on Rashawn Patton. But Rich, I know you've been waiting for this. I agree with you on this play. I don't see how this tackle gets upgraded to a blue card offense. I don't think it stopped a promising attack. The key word there is promising.
Yeah, Phil, so this is one where it's 100% a foul, and we're both in communication via the headsets in real time. And a big part of the training that Ryan has emphasized this year is that it's got to be a really promising attack. It's not just every time somebody is heading in the direction of the goal and there's a foul that you pull out a blue card. To us, there's two defenders between this player and the goal. It's not an obvious kind of scoring situation. At this time in the game, we felt the free kick was also an excellent scoring opportunity for Harrisburg. So to us, it was not enough on video to overturn our judgment on the field. And we didn't feel that the severity of the foul made it reckless.
One more from Harrisburg. This Friday night game against the Flash and Rich. This is a shootout all the way. Why are we even discussing this play?
Well, Phil, that was my reaction the first time I saw it too. And then when I saw the additional footage, I agree with the decision that the referees arrived at on the night. As you see the players running down the field, we have to keep in mind what the original call was, and the blue card was issued for tripping. And multiple camera angles make it clear that there is no lower body contact between the players. And if you look at the Monterey player's right foot, his toe points down and stubs into the turf. And that ultimately is what causes him to go down. So as referees, that's one of the things we look for. So we're not saying necessarily that he did it deliberately, but That's not a natural running motion. And when we see something like that, that's a red flag that goes up for us because the defender did not cause him to go down. He made himself go down.
Off to San Diego for the tussle between the Sockers and the Kansas City Comets. Rich, this play, we've got two issues here in the fourth quarter. Let's take the first one first. Michael Lennis on the line, and let me ask, it looks like the ball deflects off of his shoulder before hitting his arm. Does that still qualify as a handball?
Yeah, Phil, in this case it does, because the key for us is the starting position of the arm. And the arm is in an unnatural position and it's taking away space. So it might be a different story if his arm were at his side and it ricochets off a body part and then hits his arm. But because his arm is extended and it's up over his shoulder and it's taking away space, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt from the deflection in that case. So to me, this is a correct decision for a handball.
So then we have a handball, but we know not all handballs are alike in the penalty box, especially if you watch the show. You know there's a little bit different rules here in indoor. Do you think this one is worthy of a penalty kick?
To me, 100%. It needs to be a penalty kick because it stops a shot on the goal line.
Last play on this week's show, we're going to rewind a little bit back on this game, and the Sockers are challenging this blue card on Charlie Gonzalez. They're saying it was incorrectly given. Rich, what is your opinion of this play?
So, Phil, we have a couple things to look at here. First question to answer is there a foul? And I think the answer to that is yes. Charlie does reach out and grab the Kansas City player. The second question is this severe, blatant, or tactical? And to me, the answer to that one is no, given the position on the field. He's well inside his own half of the field when the foul is committed. I think it would be a stretch to say that he's going to go from there and have an obvious breakaway or goal scoring opportunity. To me, I understand, it's a grab. It looks to be deliberate. I'm not sure it rises to the level that we need for a blue card there. And then when it goes to review, now we have the question of, well, does it rise to the standard of clearly and obviously wrong? I understand why they kept it after reviewing it. Probably the preference would be not to have a blue card on there, but once we have it called on the field, it's hard to overturn if you do see evidence of the grab.
That's it for this week's episode of Under Review. And Rich, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Phil, always a pleasure, and I can guarantee you I will not be on the hot seat next week because I'm not scheduled to work.
Well, enjoy your vacation. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have a vacation, though, from Under Review, because we'll be back next week. We'll see you next time on Under Review.